Haribo, namaste everyone. This is my little pet monkey here.
Haribo, boys and girls.
Today's video is going to be about a very special tree. I wonder if you know a very special tree. She's a sacred tree. And her name is Tulasi Devi. I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about Tulasi Devi later. First of all, we're going to have a little kirtan together. Would you like to do that, monkey? Very good. Well, I'm going to pop him down here because I'm going to be playing the keyboard. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siraswarupananda Paramahamsa Yati Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Well, I'm going to grab my little monkey again. Here he is. Well, as I was saying, everyone, today's episode is all about Tulasi Devi. I'm going to show you some Tulasi Devi twigs. Would you like to see them, monkey?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. In this basket here, I have some Tulasi products. So, let's have a look, shall we? These are Tulasi branches. They look like lots of other branches that you may have seen. They've got bark, and underneath is some nice smooth wood. So when you take the bark off by sanding it down, you get a really nice smooth wood. You may have seen some people wearing some beads around their neck or chanting on japa beads. You may have some yourself. A lot of the time, japa beads or meditation beads are made with Tulasi wood. So the branch was cut and then smoothed down and then rounded off to make little round beads. And they had to drill holes through the middle too to thread through the string. These Tulasi beads are much bigger and a little bit rougher. Some of the bark is still remaining on them. You can wear Tulasi neck beads around your neck, or you may put them on your earrings, or you could even put them on your bracelets. Or you can have full japa beads made out of Tulasi, and you can chant on them every day. She's a very sacred wood because she's very pleasing to Krishna. We're going to be going outside in the garden now, looking at how we can worship the Tulasi plant. I'll see you there. Well, Haribo, everyone. I'm out in the garden today with my little pet here. I've named my little pet parrot Subha, as if you remember from the Radharani video, that was one of Radharani's pet parrots. Haribo, Subha.
Haribo, everyone.
Well, Subha and I are going to tell you about someone very, very, very special. And that's why we're out in the garden today, because she grows out here. Do you know who it is? Well, it's Tulasi Devi. So I'm here today with Tulasi Devi. Here she is. She's in a beautiful decorated pot. You can see she has purplish leaves and green leaves. And right here, have a look at these, Subha.
They smell good.
In this little vase here are some Tulasi manjaris. They're very purple, aren't they? And they smell beautiful. These ones have already been offered to Krishna. I also have a fruit and a flower. And I also have some incense some water and a bell. And before I show you what I'm going to be doing with them, I'm going to be reading a little bit from a very, very special book. You may have this book at home. Do you know what this book is?
Yes, that's the Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, it's the Bhagavad Gita. Maybe your parents have read it to you before, or you have tried to read some too. Well, I'm going to put Suba down here. Suba, can you come and sit down here for a little while? Okay, so she's going to sit down here next to me. The reason I have the Bhagavad Gita is because in the Bhagavad Gita there's lovely information about what we can offer to Krishna. I've taken some notes from there. This Bhagavad Gita has a commentary by Bhaktivedanta Swami, and he very clearly explains the verses to us. The information I'm reading from is from text 55. And Bhaktivedanta Swami says, do you want to go to Krishna in the spiritual sky and be closely connected with him? Yes, please. Well, what do we have to do? Well, we have to follow some special procedures. So, Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita how to do this. The Bhagavad Gita is meant for all of us to show us how we can understand ourselves and our relationship with the Supreme Person. And who's the Supreme Person? Krishna. The spiritual formula is devotional service. So that means working and doing activities for Krishna, but with devotion. So your parents may go to work, and their work can also be done in devotion to Krishna. So let's say if someone has lots and lots of money, maybe they could build a big temple or a meditation center and then offer that meditation center to Krishna by having kirtans there or appearance days there. But if you don't have that much money that you could build a temple with, maybe you could engage yourself in cleaning the temple or the meditation center. That's service as well. And that's called Krishna Karma. So what about if you don't have the money to offer to Krishna in the way of making a big building or doing something really big? Oh, there's so many simple things you can do too. Do you like gardening? I like gardening. Well, in your garden, you could grow Tulasi and lots of other flowers too. You can see some other flowers we have here. You can grow flowers, and what do you think you can do with those flowers? That's right, you could offer them to your deities, Nitai Gaur deities, Radha Krishna deities, Jagannath deities, Krishna deities. So that's also devotional service. That's so easy, isn't it? Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita that one should offer him a leaf. Here's a leaf here on the Tulsi Manjari, or you can offer the Tulsi Manjari too. A flower, offer fruits, or offer water. And with love and devotion, and Lord Krishna will accept it and be very satisfied with you. We can grow Tulsi and we can water her every day, and we can also offer artik to Tulsi. So even the poorest person can engage in the service of Lord Krishna. You don't need lots of money to do it. You don't need a big house. You can offer anything to Krishna as long as you do it with love and devotion, and as long as it's something that he wants you to offer to him too. Because Krishna says that you can't offer him meat, fish or eggs. He simply accepts fruits, flowers, water, a leaf, and then offer that with love and devotion. So today we're going to be doing a Tulsi artik. That sounds like lots of fun. Maybe you've done this at home already, or maybe you don't have a Tulsi plant at home. So I can show you how to do it here. It's lots of fun. Here's our Tulsi Devi here. I'm going to start my artik by first of all paying my obeisances to her.
Vrindaye Tulasi Devi Priyaye Kasivasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavati Namo Namah.
I'm now going to be offering a flower, and I'm going to be singing a lovely song called Tulsi Pranama. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Priyaye Kasivasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavati Namo Namah. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Priyaye Kasivasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavati Namo Namah. After offering our obeisances to Tulsi and performing an arctic ceremony, we can then dance around the Tulsi Devi plant. We can ring our bell, and we could also offer water as we walk around her, singing a lovely song, the Tulsi prayer song. Yani kani japa pani brahmahachari cha tani tani pradaksayanti pradaksana pade pade. I've got a beautiful garden behind me. That's my mother's garden, Nichalila Devi Dasi, and we're going to be taking a walk in that garden later on. Right now, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Tulsi, and I've got my little pet monkey to help me. I've got this wonderful book about Srimati Tulsi Devi, and it's got some wonderful information in it too. I'm going to tell you just a little bit. Well, our spiritual master has told us some information about Tulsi. Someone asked our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, what he would like us to know about Tulsi Devi, and he gave a very simple answer. He said, don't make things very complicated. Tulsi worship can be very simple. You just have to have a little garden and plant your Tulsi in there and make sure you look after it every day with some fresh water. Then offer your obeisances as well. Sit down next to Tulsi and chant the names of Krishna out loud or on your beads. So the beads I was showing you earlier are Tulsi beads, and you can sit there and chant on your Tulsi beads or any other japa bead, and you can chant next to your Tulsi plant just like the wonderful saintly person Haridas Thakur did. And you'll find this very, very wonderful if you do this. And this is a lovely service you can do called devotional service. I think I'm going to go out and see my Tulsi now. We're going to go and explore Nichalila's Tulsi garden now. We're going to follow the path. Around we go. She's got lots of nice plants in this garden. Oh! And we've come across some Tulsis already. Look here. So we've got some Tulsis sitting in pots along the fence. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now we come to a plant stand with Tulsis on. These are just very small Tulsis. Look, can you see the Tulsi prayer written here? It says, Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Priyaye Keshivasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavati Namo Namah. Isn't that wonderful? And we're going to keep going for our walk, and straight away we come across another Tulsi tree. This one's got some nice flowers growing in the base. And another Tulsi tree. How many is that altogether? I've lost count. Through the archway. And into the other section. Now there are lots of Tulsi pots here. On my left I have another Tulsi plant. And another one. And we have a special statue in the garden. Do you know who this is? That's Ganesh. And over here is a statue of Buddha meditating right next to the Tulasi plant.
I had a little Tulsi tree that was very small. I looked after her nicely and she grew very tall. I picked her manjaris every single day and offered them to Krishna in a most loving way. I had a little Tulsi tree that was very small. I looked after her nicely and she grew very tall. I picked her manjaris every single day and offered them to Krishna in a most loving way.
Oh, hello. What's your name?
My name's Sopa. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Nicholila Devi Dasi.
Oh, really? Oh, you've got a book down there.
That's right.
What's this book?
Well, it's got some stories in it, but mainly it's about Tulsi Devi.
Oh, wow. Can you read that story for me?
Well, I'll read it so that it's really, really short, because otherwise it would take me a long time.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right. Are you going to sit and listen?
I'm going to go sit on my branch.
All right. You do that and I'll read the story.
Very good.
Okay, Haribol. First of all, I'd just like to say all glories to my spiritual master and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Once the great sage Narada Muni asked Lord Narayan how Tulsi became his wife. Lord Narayan then told Narada Muni, once there was a king who was very mighty. The king even became the ruler of the whole earth. He worshipped goddess Lakshmi, and then when his wife became pregnant with an incarnation of goddess Lakshmi herself, she was pregnant for a long time. It was like 100 celestial years. Usually pregnancy's about 10 months. So on a very auspicious day, the king's wife, Madhavi, gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Her skin had the complexion of a white flower. Her beauty was incomparable, and the sages named her Tulsi. Tulsi wanted to have Krishna as her husband, so she left her family and went to the mountains and performed many difficult tasks called austerities, which lasted for 100,000 celestial years. So that's a really long time. Finally, Lord Brahma came to her, riding on his swan carrier, and Tulsi bowed down before him. Lord Brahma asked Tulsi what boon, which is like a wish, he could grant her. Tulsi explained her situation to him. Tulsi told Brahma that previously she was a cowherd girl in Goloka in the spiritual world, but when Radharani saw her with Krishna, she wasn't happy with her and cursed her to take birth in India. But at the time, Krishna told her that when she will take birth in India, she should practice austerities, and then Lord Brahma will grant her a blessing that she will be able to marry Lord Narayan, who is an expansion of Krishna himself. Tulsi then asked Brahma for that boon. Now, Lord Brahma then told Tulsi it had already been arranged that you're to marry Sankachuda, who in his previous life was desiring to be your husband. So during your time with him, there will be a big battle and he will be killed by Lord Shiva and then return to Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Now, after this happens, you will meet with Lord Narayan and he will grant you a celestial form, and you will go to Vaikuntha and remain there with him as his wife. Tulasi took on a celestial form and left her physical material body, which the Lord turned into the famous river known as Gandaki in India, and her hairs were transformed into holy trees called Tulasi. Lord Narayan told Tulasi that she will always be the presiding deity of the Tulasi plants here on earth, and at the same time always be with Krishna. Lord Narayan said that anyone who wears a necklace of Tulsi wood will surely get the benefit of performing great sacrifices, and anyone who drinks water which has Tulsi leaves soaked in it will go to Vishnu Loka at the time of leaving their body. So there it is. I've just told you briefly the story about Tulsi. Oh, Haribol, you've got some Tulsi beads for me.
That's right. I've decided I'm going to carry my Tulsi beads everywhere.
Oh, they're yours, are they?
They are.
Well,
and
let me...
so nice.
All right, let me put them around you. Wait on, and I'll put them around twice. There you go.
Oh, yay! I'm going to take them up to my tree. The Kids Art Gallery. Here are some photos of some boys who've been busy working on the Rama, Sita, Hanuman, Lakshman puppets. Look, this is Ajja. He's age 4 and lives in Australia, and he's showing us his Hanuman puppet. That's great. I'm glad you had fun doing that, Ajja. And here we have Nitai. He's 3 years old and he lives in Australia. He's showing us his 4 puppets that he really enjoyed making. And here we have Tungi, and he lives in Sedona in America, and he's showing us his puppets. Tungi Das is 4 years old. Wow, they look great, Tungi. And here is Siddhardas. He's 4 years old as well, and he's busy colouring in the Rama puppet. He's finished all of his 4 puppets, and it looks like he's had a good time playing with them. Siddhardas also was doing the Devivida story. His mum drew a big Devivida, and here you can see he's in the forest and he's setting fire to all the villagers by the looks of things. Siddha has a Balaram doll, and he's been acting out the story of when Balaram killed Devivida the gorilla. That looks like so much fun, Siddha. Thank you everyone for sending me your photos. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about Tulsi Devi. Haribol Namaste, Haribol Namaste, Haribol everyone, and Haribol Namaste. We see you again next time.